Greetings YouTube, and welcome to The Rabbit Hole. If you've been watching the news, then you know that Prince died at age 57 on April 21st, 2016 in Chanhassen, Minnesota. The cause of death is still to be determined, but nothing suspicious has officially been reported. However, the death is suspicious because 57 seems fairly young for the icon, and given his celebrity status, you can't rule out foul play just yet. Prince rose to fame in the 80s with the album 1999, which was released in 1982. Purple Rain, released in the Orwellian year 1984, was perhaps his most popular album and solidified his iconic level. In an interview with Larry King recorded in the year 1999, Prince was asked about the early days.
When you had disputes, arguments with record companies, taking a stand, were you a worrier?
Prince responded,
No, I think once I started writing slave on my face, I pretty much knew the outcome.
What does he mean by this exactly? Is it an artistic symbol about abstract means of control? Is it a symbol bringing light to the African American slave trade or child slavery? Or is it a more literal symbol marking Prince as somebody who has sold his soul, or literally enslaved himself to the Illuminati in a deal for fame? He goes on to say,
That word on one's face pretty much changes the dynamic of any meeting.
He impersonates the business execs in the meeting, but doesn't exactly say what he means.
The record company didn't really say too much. They just kind of...
Could it be that they are confused by his theatrics? Or could it be that they understand he is marked by the Illuminati and thus has access to great power and knowledge? Prince died on April 21st. That same day, Queen Elizabeth turned 91. It seems ironic that the Queen, who heads the British monarchy and is an established world leader, shares the day with the death of a prince. Let's look into this date a little more closely. Follow me down. 21 is a multiple of 3. 3 is sacred to the occult and is referenced by Illuminati often as the powerful 33, as in the 33-degree Masons, or 666, referring to the beast. The Illuminati love to hide the obvious in full display. 21 backwards is 12, another multiple of 3. If you add 21 and 12 together, you get 33, again bringing us back to the Freemasons' number of strength. There's a lot of strange numerology surrounding Prince's death, but we'll get more into that in a bit. Let's look back into the time, the days, the months leading up to Prince's sudden demise. On April 15th, 2016, Prince was on board a plane when he felt ill with the flu, so ill that the plane had to land, whereupon the pop legend was rushed to the hospital. He was released from the hospital, however, and felt fine enough to play a show soon after. As the emotional crowd cheered for his health, Prince said, "Wait a few days before you waste any prayers." What kind of sick joke is this? Is he predicting his own death? Okay, let's back up a little further. Follow me down. February 15th, 2016, the night of the 58th Grammy Awards. Prince had created and mentored the all-girl trio called Vanity 6 in the early 80s. The lead singer Vanity, otherwise known as Denise Matthews, also died this year, strangely enough, also at the age of 57. Her death on February 15th, 2016, the night of the 58th Grammy Awards, was no accident. The 6 in the band's title has been said to refer to the number of nipples in the group. Given the overt sexual nature of Vanity 6's persona, it makes perfect sense. The band has even been criticized for manipulating their fans through the use of sex. This sounds very similar to advertising selling sex both overtly and subliminally to make consumers want products. It also sounds similar to the experiments performed during MKUltra and other mind control experiments performed by the CIA, but that's another topic. Each woman as 6 makes 666. Remember, the Illuminati always work in symbolism and numerology. Gematria can often be used to determine the numerical value of a word or phrase, and inversely, messages can be decoded. Matthews died of kidney failure. Gematria converts kidney disease to 58, which connects to that night's 58th Illuminati Bash, otherwise known as the Grammy Awards. This is also preparing us for Prince's death by referencing his birth year, 1958. The numbers of her death date, 2/15/16, come to 33 when added together. February 15th is the 46th day of the year. 46 converts to sacrifice, and that comes 66 days before Prince's death. But this video isn't about Vanity, so let's get back to Prince. Prince was found by police and medics dead in an elevator. If you're familiar with Prince, the song Let's Go Crazy may come to mind. The lyrics sing, lyrics eerily talk about his demise in an elevator. Is Prince a prophet of his own death in this case? Or is this a lyric he has been force-fed as a sick, fatal joke by those in the music industry and ultimately his assassins, aka those who are keeping him in slavery? Prince was found in Carver County, which works out to 57 using the English reduction system. His date of death was 47 days away from his birthday. The number 47 refers to authority, namely the Masons and Zionists in control of the music industry. The word pop, as in pop music or pop star, translates to 47 also, further proving that the entire industry is controlled by the elite. Prince eventually would go on to call himself the artist formerly known as Prince. The title seems to suggest that Prince has passed literally or symbolically. Could this mean that the real Prince was killed long ago and was replaced by a clone who satirically took on the title, the artist formerly known as Prince? And that's when we dive into the realm about the clone of Paul McCartney. The film Purple Rain is 111 minutes long, which correlates to April 21st, typically the 111th day of the year. But why exactly was Prince killed? What was it he knew that he was trying to expose that crossed a certain line with his enslavers? Prince had become outspoken about chemtrails and other government conspiracies.
This phenomena of chemtrails.
He seemed to have overcome whatever brainwashing he had been subjected to.
When I found out there were 8 presidents before George Washington, I wanted to smack somebody.
Given his popularity, it was very likely that he could stir up trouble, and so he had to be eliminated. If you know of more celebrities who have been assassinated but made it to look alive through cloning, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep digging.